everyone. Another Friday, 10 o'clock, January 6th, 2023. Wow. I know that during the shutdown and everything else, it seemed like life just moved to this nice, slow, even pace. So I don't even know how we jumped up into 2023 so quickly. Um, I really appreciate you coming on and watching us. We do our best to bring you some really good information on metaphysics, and we hope that you enjoy our content. If you do, please like, share, subscribe. Um, we're just a bunch of great practitioners here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, that have been training and studying metaphysics for the bulk of our life. The center is growing. We're changing over to a nonprofit, so it's going to be a wonderful experience being able to offer classes with practitioners and instructors from other parts of the country, and it's going to be marvelous. So I look forward to that growth. Today, I'm going to continue the series on Mastering Metaphysics, the Essential Foundations and Principles. And I'll be working with the book Mastering Metaphysics. I don't know if you guys can read that, but that's the book cover of the book that I wrote. And the reason I'm sharing this is not to necessarily get you to buy the book. I mean, if you're interested, please do buy it. But it's more so that you can kind of get a different viewpoint of some of our more common aspects. And today we're going to be talking about karma. I'm going to be reading a little bit more of the book because this all tends to go in this nice blend. Kind of builds on itself without me having to interpret too much. We're going to start on page 35, excuse me, karmic balance. We do not always understand that every experience we have is paying off a karmic debt or creating one. Not all our karmic lessons are negative in nature. We do reap what we sow. It is in our best interest to treat each other as fairly and honestly as we possibly can, avoiding judgments of any kind, thereby not creating or not treating anyone or anything less than we would want to be treated. We have complicated karma. Most people do not fully understand the true reason behind karma. It has become popular to blame karma. Lost my job, guess I have fired my boss in a past life. Can't find a husband, must have been a bitch in a past life. Bob's wife cheated on him, he must have cheated on her in a past life. We may be right, but given our flawed mortal minds, we will be wrong more often than right. This judging ourselves or another should not be done. Regardless of right or wrong, karma can be incurred. One of the most natural mistakes we make is trying to figure out karmic debt instead of understanding karma. In each section of this book, hopefully, we will come to a more thorough understanding of karma. Judging. The concept of second-guessing or judging the rightness or wrongness of karma is one of the reasons for the phrase, "Judge not, lest ye be judged." If we allow our higher selves and our spirit teachers to guide us and never blame it on karma as we walk away, this action of accountability will help us to use karma correctly, as a tool for higher awareness. We should look at our actions in every situation and hold ourselves accountable only for our portion. This, and this alone, will help us rise above karmic situations. By being accountable for our actions, we will recognize what we did and where we can change. When we fully understand our lessons, we are grateful for them. They help us learn and move forward. When we don't, we are doomed to repeat the process until we understand it fully. Again, the book Many Mansions by Gina Sarah Manera is quite possibly the best book I've ever read in understanding karma. Thoughts. Thoughts can be more powerful than actual action. The energy it takes to worry about something can consume us. Repetitive thoughts on problems or worrying can build in intensity to such a degree that it will create exactly what is feared. We need to learn not to negate ourselves and others through fear or any other negative thought. It is a true process of reaping what you sow. Our thoughts create our lives much like an author writes a book. Fortunately and unfortunately, thoughts come before actions and after reaction. Worry's thought process of dwelling on the negative. Happiness is positive. There is much to the saying of let go and let God. If we worry, we are not trusting ourselves to create lives for our highest and best interests. If we let go of worry and control, we trust our higher selves, our God self, to create the best for us. Find a way to take yourself out of worry. Listen to music you enjoy, read a book, meditate, and breathe. After our agreement in the use of karma as a tool, once karma was established and we became locked into the birth rebirth cycle to pay or balance karma, the 5 root races were established. There were 5 Adams and 5 Eves. Each one represented one of the 5 races: black, brown, red, yellow, and white. Those of us who incarnated the first time, no matter which race we started with, we lost our awareness of who we truly are. Having lost the memory of our true selves, we began to transgress upon others. This is what caused more imbalance and the need for more lifetimes to bring it all into balance. It is important for us to bring ourselves into balance so that light of truth burns brighter within us. As individuals, we are committed to reincarnating on earth until we reach the level of enlightenment referred to as the Christ consciousness. Jesus' birth name was Emmanuel. When he went back to the etheric, he took the name Emmanuel again. It wasn't until he obtained Christ consciousness that he took the name Jesus. His destiny was to show us how to raise our consciousness. Through error, misunderstanding, and misinterpretations of the teachings he left, we deified him instead of following his example. We made him a deity. We then used his words to hold power over each other. One of the reasons that I wanted to read so much about that is that we're deifying ourselves now. Um, Oftentimes I hear people talk about how wonderful they are, how uh, terrific their work is, and how exceptional they are at their work. And that's a form of bringing forth karma, because a person without ego allows the law of attraction and their vibration to bring that forward. When we deify ourselves by saying we are in higher consciousness, by stepping up into consciousness to the 5th dimension and the 10th dimension, we're coming from ego, or you wouldn't feel the need to say these things. When we come from ego, we have a problem with balancing out our karma and being accountable. When we promise things like pure divine healing, because we are the greatest healer, again, ego steps in and karma is incurred because we don't have the true understanding of how that healing has taken place. We actually allow spirit to flow through us into the vibration that needs the healing. If we're true healers, we have a spirit team that's ready to work with us, and we just recognize we're just the conduit. Karma is often incurred when we get envious of somebody else. And when we say these exalted words about how wonderful we are, it creates envy or resistance from other people. We often don't really understand how that works. What we do understand is that it is a struggle for most people to bring forth levels of awareness that they're not really working at. Karma is our tool for progressing spiritually, and when we misuse it, we can digress. We can become a part of the culture that is offering wrong information, wrong teachings, wrong growth for other people. If you're truly a teacher, you stand in awe of your students because they will bring forth the best teachings for you. What you give out, you'll get back. And our students are oftentimes our most valued possession, if you actually call them a possession, but they're our most valuable tool to look inside, deep inside ourselves, to see if we're truly doing the work of spirit or if we're working from ego. We don't need validation, which is probably somewhat of a shame because I forget to validate people oftentimes because I think, well, they're doing the work. They should know they're good. And sometimes the validation is a simple thank you. That I do try to remember to do. But I don't always remember to do that. It's accepting their work and just being grateful that they're in my life. That energy is exuded out. But when we're bringing through karmic balance, that term judgment comes from a self-judgment aspect, probably more so than judging other people because we judge ourselves the harshest. So I offer to you the concept that karma is a tool to get you to your level of awareness through accountability. It's like if you have to self-medicate, you should be self-meditating so that you can grow in that consciousness. We oftentimes incur karma from those aspects of self-medicating. And it could be through feeding our ego or feeding our world with drugs, alcohol, and food, or exercise even. All of these things create imbalances in our life, and it's those imbalances that make it harder for us to reach higher consciousness. We should always exercise just enough, eat just enough, drink just enough. I'm very guilty of not exercising enough. And it's one of those things that we have to remember that when we're trying to grow, we have to bring it all into balance, mind, body, and spirit. With that in mind, I wish you a wonderful day. I hope your weekend is filled with much love and many blessings. My heart to all of yours. We will see you next Friday. Bye now.